Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me in the Lamborghini Huracan, which we bought to do the Venturi intake development on, which you can just hear in the back there. Sounds absolutely amazing. And when we first bought this car, it's a V10. Obviously the V10 is one of the best sounding engines you can have. We did have an E60 M5 for quite a good few years, and as everyone knows, you stick a good exhaust on one of those cars and it sounds absolutely fantastic. And having a V10, having a Lamborghini, it would be rude not to put an exhaust system on the car. So I contacted my friends at Supersprint because I know they make one, and I said, Federico, we have an Italian car and I would like to have an Italian made exhaust for it. So they've sent me one of their exhaust systems, which I'll show you when I get back to the workshop. But for now, I'm just gonna drive the car in both modes. In normal, so we can get an idea of the comparison. I'm really looking forward to putting the Supersprint on here because I mean it sounds good anyway, but that's Corsa, so that little bit louder with the valves open. And I think at the moment it's realistically the intake's noise that I can hear more than anything, but you can hear the exhaust a little bit in Corsa mode, and you get those kind of overrun burbles as well. So I was coming around this roundabout yesterday and it was very wet and 8.5 degrees, and the car just snapped sideways on me here. We can put that clip in now. Oh, it's all over the place. It's a little bit better now. Cool, so that's with the valves open. I'm going to head back to the workshop now. We'll have a look at the Supersprint exhaust. They do two versions, so we'll explain the differences between them, and then we'll take the car back out after it's installed and let you listen to the glorious V10 noise. So we're back in the workshop. The car is ready to receive the exhaust, but before we have it fitted on, let's take a quick look at it. So Supersprint do two different versions of this exhaust. They do what they call a race, which is non-valved and slightly smaller than this, and they do this one, which is actually valved. So it's got the same type of valves as the stock exhaust, so they're pneumatic, so they'll work off the Corsa settings. The difference between this one and the race one is that this one is 13 kgs lighter and the race one is 18 kgs lighter, so it saves a little bit more weight. But when I was talking to the guys at Supersprint, they recommended that we go for this one because you get the best of both worlds, and when the valves open it's almost straight through, so it's actually a little bit louder, but you can still drive the car in comfort when the valves are closed. So let's get this on the car and get to the important part, which is how does it sound. I'm really looking forward to this. you joined me back in the Lamborghini Huracan and the exhaust has been fitted. So I'm just driving it in Strada mode at the moment, which is valves closed. And it's a little bit louder than stock, but it sounds really nice. I apologise if you can't hear me, it's incredibly loud in here with the exhaust and the E-Venturi prototype intake. So I'll just switch it over into Corsa mode. Which is valves open, and you've got the overrun. And that is significantly louder. Just sounds glorious. Oh. Yeah, that's made a huge difference. And I don't know if it's placebo or not, we won't know until I do some draggy runs or get the car on the dyno, but both those modifications, the exhaust and the intake, have seemed to make a difference to the power. It does certainly feel more eager. But as I said earlier on in the video, it would be rude to have a V10 Lamborghini and not put an exhaust on it, and I'm glad we have. It does sound absolutely incredible. Just to mention also, after my little mishap on the Pirellis when it was wet, we have switched the tyres over now to some Michelin PS4S, and I've just does inspire much more confidence in me. I had no confidence in this car before, but I'm very familiar with these tyres. We run them on practically all our other cars, and I know they're very good for grip. I'm not sure why Lamborghinis come with those Pirellis, but wasn't a fan of them at all. Oh, just adds to the drama. It's fantastic. So that's Corsa mode, which is valves open. I can switch it into Strada, which is valves closed, and you can cruise in it, and the volume is a lot more tolerable for cruising, and you could probably have a conversation with your passenger if you had one. Overall, really happy with this Supersprint upgrade. I always knew it was going to sound good on this car. We did have Supersprint exhaust on our E60 M5 back in the day, and that sounded glorious, and the V10 just deserves a beautiful exhaust just to let it sing that a little bit more and add to the drama. In terms of what's next for the Huracan, it's keep driving it on the prototype E-Venturi intakes, make sure everything is okay. Once a new dyno is installed, we'll do some pre and post dynos with the intakes, and hopefully we can launch that product. Beyond that, I'm not sure how far we're going to take that car, but stay tuned to the channel to find out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you'd like to watch what YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment section and we'll do our best to answer them for you.